And before we begin, I would like to honor the fact that we are on the unceded, underline unceded, territories of the Musqueam, Seychelles, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. And Capilano University was named after Chief Joe Capilano, a very important leader of the Squamish Nation of the Coast Salish peoples. So again, before we begin today in the proceedings, let's please acknowledge this fact. Let's be respectful of the places that we are allowed to learn and play and participate on, and respectful as our roles as leaders in this community to acknowledge the land that we are on. It is 11:35. Let us begin with our first candidate for Accessibility Justice Coordinator, Karan. Welcome to the forum. I'm just going to ask you to introduce yourself and in your introduction to share what makes you the best candidate to represent students with accessibility. And that is the question. You have 1 minute.
Hello, everyone.
I think you just need to flip it up. Yeah, perfect.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nain, and I'm running for the Accessibility Justice Coordinator position. From the past 1 year, I'm the part of the Accessibility Advisory Committee for the Capilano University, and we have suggested some very reforms to the administration, for the faculty members, for the students to get a positive change in the university. I want to bring the same experience in the student union, and for that I need your support, guys. Some very brief point in my mind. First, I want to introduce the feedback forms in the student union. So every student who have any kind of accessibility need, they can straight just contact the student union, and we would be helpful to them. Just for the information, we also open the feedback form currently for all the students. So guys, you are open for the providing the feedback, and the university would be hear you. Second thing, I want to include a sensory friendly environment for all the students. It means like a different place, an inclusive place for the students who need low light, any kind of sensory accommodation, so they can study without any kind of choice. And the last thing, I have a visible disability. You can see I'm in the wheelchair, but many students, they don't have any. It can be mental, neurodivergenic, any kind of. And the feedback we receive from the feedback form is the attitude about the disability. Many students, they just don't want to talk about their disability because they're afraid that many folks would make fun of them. I want to change this. I want to make it inclusive for all the participants. So the student union, the Capilano Student Union, would be the best for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, a couple follow-up questions. So the first one is, if there is one main issue, one main challenge faced by your demographic of students, what is it that you would like to address during your term?
I think the main issue is inclusivity. We don't see accommodation for the accessibility in the events we organize. Sometimes there's not even a mention of that. I want to change that. I want to feel like the people who need accommodation, they don't need to hesitate about it. So that's my priority.
Thank you very much. I think that is our time. So I will ask the next candidate, but thank you for running.
Thank you, guys. Vote for the change. Vote for the positive.
And I will ask Khushi to come to the stand, our next running candidate. Hello, welcome. And again, if you could introduce yourself and share what makes you the best candidate to represent.
So hi everyone, my name is Khushi Malhotra and I'm running for the position of Accessibility Justice Coordinator. So I believe that accessibility is not just a right, it's not just a privilege, it's a fundamental right that we should provide with the people who are facing disabilities, whether if they're not able to have like if they are not able to walk properly or they are not able to hear properly. So that's my main aim is to provide equal opportunities, and I want to change the attitude of the people to believe that they are just like us people, and we should not provide them any sympathy or any behavior which could be stuck in their mind and they feel depressed. So that's why I'm running for the position of Accessibility Justice Coordinator to bring a change over here. And I also want to develop a community where the accessibility people who are facing disabilities could interact with each other and can also discuss their issues. And if they're facing any issues, I would be there for them to support and help them.
Thank you. So if you could please address one of the main challenges faced by this demographic and what you would address during your term.
Yeah, so I believe that there are some of the people who are visually impaired, and there are many of the like technology we have, and they're not able to access that apps. So I believe that we could develop such changes in the technology in the apps, or we could develop a feature so that the visually impaired people are also able to use that technology just like us, and they're able to make their life more convenient through the apps, and yeah, like that.
Okay. As a follow-up question, I would say, if I may ask, what's your lived experience as a student with accessibility issues, and how do you feel like you are an accurate representation of this community
So
and
yeah,
advocate?
there are some of my friends who are facing disabilities, so they have told me their issues. So I believe that if I could get elected, I would able to provide them the equal opportunities because they're not able to get that opportunities just like us. So I would be able to provide the equal opportunities in each and everything, any competitions or any teamwork or even company in even teams and everything.
Okay. And what's your thoughts on equality versus equity?
Equality versus.
Equality versus equity.
So I believe that they should be the same, equality and equity, and they are very much important for each and everyone because these are the terms which we keep in mind but we forgot sometimes, so we should keep in touch in that.
Okay. You have 20 seconds remaining. Is there anything else that you would like to share over why you feel you are more qualified than other
Yeah.
candidates?
So actually, I was a part of the Trexa community, and I was the ambassador, ex-ambassador of that. So I have faced like organized many events and charity events, and so I believe if I get elected, I could conduct an event in which all the accessibility people could came there and could access the fun and activities they could participate over there.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we are going to be moving on to the Students of Color Liaison position. That would be Abhijeet Singh. If you could come to the front, please. Hello, welcome. And please, just in 1 minute over who you are and why you are qualified.
Hi everyone, my name is Abhijeet Singh Brat and I am running from the position of Students of Color Liaison. So my aim is to bring like equality among all the students, like the students of different color are facing different problems. So I will be here to help them with like discussing with the other main leaders and the staff members and teachers of the university to help them like they are facing any problems like their physical and mental problems. So I'll be here to help them anytime.
Okay, and if you could go into what you think the main challenge faced by this population of students and what you'd like to address in your term.
Yeah, basically they are suffering from the physically and mental harassments. Like sometimes they go, so I'll be always there to help them. Like they are facing any problem related to their mental health or their physical health, and be there to help them anytime.
And are there, how exactly would you be doing that in your term?
Yeah, like I'll be always there to help them by talking to the higher authorities and helping them like by giving them scholarships and giving them proper facilities and helping them physically and mentally both.
And how exactly, like, so you mentioned scholarships, for example. How exactly would you be giving students of color scholarships? in your turn.
By talking the higher authorities, if they can help them, it will be a good opportunity for them to be uh, having a safe environment. And by concerning with the higher authorities, I can help them.
Okay. Like, what is your experience as a student of color liaison? You would be working with many different backgrounds.
Yeah, like there are students from different cultures and different backgrounds, and like many students are facing problems like they are done harassment and are not given equal opportunities on the basis of their cultures and their societies and their backgrounds. So I'll be there like to give all the students equal opportunities.
Yes, but what exactly is your experience with doing that? And how do you feel that you can support those students in your lived experience in what you've done in the past?
Yeah, like many times I come to meet with the students, those who are not given equal opportunities. So I always talk with my friends and the higher authorities to always be there to help them. Like if they are facing any problem, there. Yeah,
Okay, that's your time. Thank you.
thank you very much.
And next, Carson for the Indigenous Students Liaison. Oh, it's exciting to have you.
I know,
Apparently
I'm
you're a
excited
big
to
deal.
be here. Woo! Actually, honestly, everybody, it's so fun to be here with all of you. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Okay, I'm very short. Hold on.
If you just want to go ahead with your introduction and why you feel you are suitable for the role.
Awesome. So my name is Carson Pechawis. I am a member of Mistawasis First Nation in Saskatchewan, and I'm also a member of the Kukwaliwak by marriage, and that's on the coast. So the reason that I'm running for Indigenous Student Liaison is because we have none currently, and an Indigenous voice is very important to what we do here at CAP. Obviously, our school is named after Chief Joe Capilano, and this land was founded by Indigenous people for Indigenous people. And while we want to welcome everybody here, there definitely is a voice that's needed, and that's the Indigenous voice. The things I want to do in my candidacy are to improve communication and to improve the events that are held by Indigenous Center and by the Indigenous community. Thank you.
Wonderful. Again, and you kind of touched on it, but what do you feel is the main challenge faced by Indigenous students, and how do you want to address that during your term?
I think the main issue is communication. So we all know that being Indigenous or being a person of color in general, you grow up with a different experience, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't understand that experience. They've never lived it and they've never really interacted with it. We want to improve communication and make sure everybody understands what Indigenous students are going through to the best of their abilities. They understand how to access resources and how to learn more about educating themselves on Indigenous issues. And we also want people to be comfortable coming to Indigenous things. Like, people don't know if these events are for them or just for Indigenous people. Let's change that. Let's make it an inclusive situation where everyone can learn.
Awesome. And how do you feel that you will exactly improve communication? Like what methods and how with students face to face?
Yeah, so I'd like to hold an open hour each week where I can interact with any students or faculty who have questions about the Indigenous experience or about how to approach Indigenous issues. I would also like to facet communication to all Indigenous students in a more interactive way. I know a lot of students don't check their email as much as we'd hope they do, or whatever. Let's make routes of communication that work. For example, Instagram, stuff like that. These are definitely avenues that we could take.
Perfect. I would also say, how are we on time? We have 30 seconds. If you have 30 seconds that you just want to use, you can go ahead.
Awesome. So bringing an Indigenous voice is important because the Indigenous worldview is that we all deserve equity, and also that we all deserve a place to have our voices heard. When an Indigenous person is speaking, they're not just speaking for themselves, they're speaking for you as well, no matter what your race is. What we want is to keep the cycle of nature, the cycle of life, and keep things in balance, and that includes everyone around us. So Indigenous people are always great to have in your corner, and come learn some Indigenous stuff, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Speaking on behalf of the Capilano Courier, we would love to have you help us with communication. Next, our international student liaison, Abhijeet Singh. Oh, yes, thank you. Hello, welcome. Again, same thing. An introduction to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Abhijeet Singh and I am running for International Students Liaison. So the reason for me to run for this seat is like I'm also an international student and I know like the problems and the issues that international students face. So as an international student, I've also faced a lot of problems, not only in the university, also outside the university. So, but our main focus is in university. So, if I will be elected, so there would be two main reasons. So, I will be focused on. The first one is, so as international students, we are burdened with the tuition fee increase, and the second one is lack of courses. So so if I will be elected, so I will make sure to work with the administration to provide us more courses to meet our needs, and also like the fees increment, it should not be increased because we are already paying like 3 times more fees than the indigenous students. So still it's a lot. So it should not be increased more. So yeah, that these are the two main reasons I will be focused on. So and also I will be available anytime. If any international student have any problem, they can contact me anytime. Yeah.
Okay, so just regarding the fee increase, that I'm assuming is your kind of main goal during your term is to combat that. What would be your proposed methods for the university to seek other funds rather than a fee increase? Because this is a very loaded topic. You mentioned that there's not enough courses, but one method of stopping fee increases is by cutting courses. So how would you work with the administration to find other financial solutions to fee increases?
So yeah, I have two main reasons. The first one is fee increment, and the second one is lack of courses.
Right.
So rather than like increasing the fees for students,
Yeah.
they can increase the courses to get the more funds.
But courses would cost more money.
Yeah, but also like the courses will bring more fees from students too.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah.
What other ways would you work with the administration?
So like rather than like increasing the fees, they can increase the courses to get the more funds from the students. And also like as an international student, like I see like we are paying like 3 times more fees than the indigenous students. So maybe if they want to increase the fees for international students,
Yeah.
so maybe they can increase fees for indigenous students too.
Okay, sorry to make clear. So you're proposing that they increase indigenous students' fees rather than international student fees?
Yeah, like not the all fees should be increased for international students. So like the proposed was like they're gonna like increase fees like by 5%
Yeah.
from the international students. So I think it should be like half.
Okay, sorry, that's your time. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
Next, our mature and parent students liaison. Sorry, there's just one candidate. Hello, if you could please introduce yourself and why you're running.
Hi everyone, my name is Anurag Arora and I'm running for the position of mature and parent student liaison. Even though I'm not a mature parent or a returning student, but I think I have talked with a lot of students who are returning students and like whose age are above 24 and who are mature, and they are having a lot of concerns. Like they are like the three concerns which I have noticed are on like the flexibility in the classes, like I've noticed they are not getting the schedules according to them because they have to like deal with a lot of things like their jobs, their childcare, like their children, and also deal with the family issues. And the second one is we can provide them with the childcare facilities where we can allot 2 to 3 daycare workers who can handle their children and they can attend their classes. And the third one is financial stability for them and to like launch some of the bursaries so that the eligible one can go for that, and which will help them financially.
Okay, so like you mentioned, you are obviously not a mature or a parent student. How do you feel you have the lived experience, or how will you create a connection with these students to properly represent them?
Like, I'm not a mature parent, but I have talked with a lot of them, and I think these concerns are not made by me. Like, these are the really told by them, like the childcare facilities.
Sorry, just to clarify the question, how will you continue this dialogue with them? How many have you spoke with already? If you could illuminate that practically, how are you going to maintain?
Like, according to me, I can hold a Zoom meetings, and also I can organize the events where where all the mature parents can connect with each other, and we can listen to their concerns, so that the CSU board or the university can deal with them.
So you mentioned that students have a hard time fitting things into their schedule. So how do you feel that Zoom meetings or events adding to their already heavy schedules will help them?
Because they have to go at their work, and like the schedules we all know that, like in this university, schedules are not that good. And
Sorry, to clarify, I said you're going to be introducing events and Zoom meetings on top of their already busy schedules. So how is that a proper solution to the problem of them having schedule issues already? Is there other ways that you see that you could solve the problem in terms of scheduling? You have 15 seconds remaining, sorry.
like, we will talk with the CSU administration so that they can launch the more courses, like during the whole day, like not only in the morning time, but there should be classes in the morning, evening, and afternoon, so that they can pick like whatever schedule suits them.
Okay, sorry, that is your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next, our women's student liaison, I believe is it just Parnit that is available today? Thank you. Hello. And just a brief introduction and why you feel you're suitable for the role.
Very warm good morning. Myself Parnit Kaur, and I'm currently the Student Digital Ambassador. My goals are crystal clear that I'm running for Women Liaison position because mainly I will be always and I'm still available on campus in person, which is really required if I want to communicate with any of the girls or any of the students, those who face difficulty for everything, that definitely I will be available. And besides that, I have already spent one whole year at CAPU seeing the difficulties faced by them and especially the condition of the Women's Center. Definitely I will be working on that thing, but I also want to mention that I will also collaborate with all of the departments with which I have already worked to enhance about the Women's Center very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to mention the Women's Center because Capilano wrote a great article on that recently. So what are your plans to improve the Women's Center and make that a space for women students or female identifying students?
I have planned to always keep meetings once in a month to invite women there and to create a beautiful environment for them and to hear from them what's going on like surrounding about them, because I have myself felt that they never are able to share their feelings, like what happens with them around them. So definitely I'll be doing that, of course. And I will be collaborating with the sexual violence department to kindly hear their voices, which are never being heard since before.
Yes, there is a lot of frustration with women identifying students on campus and sexual violence. So how do you believe you're going to navigate that and be a voice for those students?
For that, I want to specify that I have already talked with that department that if I would get selected for this position, then definitely I want to collaborate with them. Besides this, I will be also trying my best to collaborate with maximum departments to just create a very beautiful engagement of the people, especially the women of the Capilano University.
And if you could just go into specifics of how how exactly are you going to go about this?
It all depends on the meetings because they will really play an important role because only with that help I will be hearing what really goes on around them because if that thing will not be happening, nothing will be happening. And if I talk about myself, that I usually available on the campus in the center just besides the library, I will definitely take the advantage of that thing as well because I will be myself keeping an eye on the whole of the university that what really goes on with the women.
Right. And during your meetings, do you have any plans to connect with the women on campus? Like any lobbying, anything like that?
Yes, I will be keeping that definitely all the meetings in the women's center. My main goal is to just change the whole map of that center and to make it really beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good.
Sanchit for Arts and Science representative. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Kashish. Kashish Chawla. Sorry, Kashish Chawla. Are they present? Yes, they are. Sorry. Welcome. And if you don't mind, just a minute to introduce yourself and why you're running.
Hello everyone, my name is Kashish Chawla and I'm in this university from last 2 years and I'm doing business as bachelor's in business administration. And okay, so I'm running for the position Women's Student Liaison and I want to work for the Women's Society, of course. And okay, so I personally believe women face a lot of issues in the university or the women resource room as well. I want to work. So if you all are familiar with the Twitter, so like Twitter has some spaces where you go, like everyone can communicate with each other. So the same way, I want to create a channel for women, a digital platform for women where they can address the issues. And also, I personally want to work for the create resources for STEM, which is like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for women. And I personally also believe that women in the university are not actively participating. They're always at the back end, and I want to bring them to the front as well. Yeah, that's all. And if I believe you vote for me, so that's a vote for change, of course. And I want to bring the change for a positive thing for the women's.
And as we mentioned in the last, with the last candidate, a main issue has been the Women's Center and the upkeep of the Women's Center. What is your plan in managing the Women's Center?
Okay, so I believe a woman faces a lot of issues with the mental stress and everything, and like some of the women suppose, let's take a short example, they don't bring the lunch or something with them to the university. So there needs to be a lot of food to be kept there in the baskets, and some women women don't much talk about periods, and they're not well aware about the PCOD, PCOS. I want to create wellness aware centers there so that women can go and talk about it more actively, and of course, yeah.
And what is your exact plan to create community and communication through that?
I want to create a website, like I mentioned, Twitter has some channels. So I want to create a website for the university where they can communicate with each other through the channels over there. And one can create a group, so for example, PCOD and PCOS, if I want to create awareness, I would take a doctor and I would take this permission to bring a doctor who could create a channel, and all the girls, even boys can join, of course, because for me, everyone is equal. And I want to bring a change not only for women, for men as well, if I get an opportunity.
Okay, and then how do you feel that you are going to advocate for women in terms of sexual violence on campus and just in general discrimination?
So I'm not really sure because first of all, I would do the campaigning. If I got elected, of course, I'll do the surveys. I'll go through, I'll interview each of the persons, and I'll see what all the main issues they're addressing. Talking about the sexual violence,
You do have 10 seconds left, if that's
okay. So yeah, to the channels, they can address what particular issues they are facing, and then we could give the solutions right there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And then next, we now have Sanchit, our Arts and Science representative. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
And
hello, Capu.
go for it.
So introduction, I'm Sanchit Kwatra, the current Arts and Sciences representative at CSU. My preferred pronouns are he and him. And actually, I'm running again for the same position of Arts and Sciences because I want to continue serving my people. Uh, I have a lot of experience since the past 1 year, and I think the CSU board could have my input with the new representatives coming in. I've been in multiple committees across the CSU board. I have attended the committees for presidential search, vice president search as of now, and like multiple places I've contributed the opinions, and I have been there. There are like all of the meetings until now in the CSU board and the committees I've been assigned to. I've attended them all, and most of them were in person. I have advocated for our students provincially while being on the board of directors for the Alliance of British Columbia Students. I volunteer across campus. My first year was like spread across the departments in our university. Rather, we student life or engaging with CIE, and yeah. So that's me. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And just to be clear, are you an arts and science, part of the arts and science faculty? And
Yes, currently I'm the second year student in Associate of Sciences program.
cool. And what do you feel is the biggest challenge facing that group of students, and how do you feel you're going to advocate for them?
Yeah, so as I'm currently advocating for the students, the main cause, the purpose of me working here is that I feel that there is a lack of clarity between the students who are in the programs of especially the associates of arts and sciences, because they don't know where these diplomas are going to take them in their 3-year work permit for international students, or like everywhere. Like many people who have an idea that they'll take a transfer, but they don't know what major they are going to choose or what not. So I'm currently working for there's a new introductory association that I'm building called the Arts and Sciences Association. So this association is going to help the students solve these issues, and stay tuned for it. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Is there anything else in terms of new initiatives that you would want to start this year? How you feel like the arts and sciences students are relating to other faculties and just other issues within that?
Yeah.
Perhaps like marginalized communities within arts and science. Is there anything that you would want to talk on about that?
I'm sorry, could you please clarify marginalized communities?
Marginalized communities such as like mature students, BIPOC students, Indigenous students, students who are in arts and science.
Yeah, so many students face difficulty in understanding the concepts when they take a break from the studies, such as returning students. I'm talking about my peers who study with me. They have a hard time studying calculus because it has been 10 years since they learned pre-calculus. So for them, we need support. We currently have the support in the MLC, but I think that there should be peer mentorship, like the students teaching students. On that level, when we connect, it is so much easier to understand the concepts. And this is one of my future goals with collaboration with the ASA. Yeah.
Thank you. We're out of time, but thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.
And next, Tushar. Hello, welcome. Is it Tushar?
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And if you don't mind giving your introduction and why you feel you are a good representative.
Hello everyone, myself Tushar Sachdeva, and I am running for the next Arts and Science representative. So as a student of Arts and Science faculty, I know what students actually face, they need more academic support and more mental health support. So if I am elected for this position, the first thing I am going to do is to set up a meeting with the Dean of Arts and Science, with the Vice President of Student Affairs, to make a council that provide more courses for the students, as I have talked with my friends that are also in arts and science. So they were finding difficulty to take courses of biology and psychology for this summer term, as the courses that are available of biology are more condensed and they almost finish in 1.5 hours. So how can a student complete studies of 4 months in 1.5 hour? Oh, 1.5 months, sorry.
Right.
So that's the first thing I am going to do if I'm elected.
Again, we kind of talked on this with the other candidate. One of the concerns of the university about adding new courses is the cost of adding new courses. So how do you feel like you are going to properly advocate and convince the university to add new courses when it seems every candidate wants to add new courses?
Yeah, so that's the main problem in the summer term. So I will actually, this is my first experience for this position, so I will take help of Sanchit if he's gonna help me if I'm elected, and more of the previous representative, and with their advice and guidance, I will find the proper way of doing this.
Okay. Are there any other challenges that you feel that your student body faces that you will also help? And like, how will you create a connection between your student body, you and the people you're representing, and so forth?
Yeah, so with my experience in the campus, I feel that there is less opportunities for arts and science beyond the classes and academics. So I will focus more on the peer mentorship and the alumni of this university in the same field, if they can guide for the new students and help them what they can do in the future with their degrees or the diplomas.
Okay. You have about 40 seconds left. Is there anything else that you'd like to speak on in regards to your role?
Yeah, so I have doing my studies in mainly in computer science. So in that we have the option of class recordings. So during revision we can refer to the recordings and it can help us very much. So I think that these facilities should be in every course so that the students can refer to the videos during the revisions or if they find any doubt. So that's the also plus point for the students.
That's an interesting proposal. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Rajveer for Business and Professional Studies rep. Hello. And yeah, just an introduction and why you feel you are qualified.
Okay, so good morning everyone, and I am Rajveer Singh. I am the first year student. I am studying in the third semester, and I am the candidate for the business and the professional studies representative. And I believe that I am the suitable for this position because there is no one else who is fighting against me. And this is because that if I will be the wrong one, if I will be not the suitable one, then of course there should be someone who stands against me and says that this man, he should not be winning. So I believe that I am the suitable one, and I will be bringing some of the changes that are very essential and that are required for the new, for the bright future of the students.
So to reiterate, you believe you're the best candidate because no one else is running?
Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly is the main challenge facing your students? Are you a business student? How do you feel that you will actually represent students in this role?
Well, the main challenge is that most of the students are facing that they are not getting the field in which they are suitable for. Like some of the students, they just do their courses, but they don't know that which field is suitable for them. So I want to make sure that each and every student should be the best fitting into the field where he should be. Like I will be organizing the knowledge fairs or many other job fairs where they can talk to the very good managers or the employers that can help them to find out their suitable jobs.
And do you have experience organizing fairs such as this? Or
Yeah, sure. Like in my high school studies, I was the head boy for the school and I organized some of the activities there. And I believe that I can same do here also.
Do you have existing connections within industries and people that you can bring in?
Well,
Where are your resources?
yeah, sure. There's some of the industries are there with whom I am in the touch with, and I believe that if I will be selected and I will be getting the opportunity, I will be not lacking behind, and I can make the good connections, and I will find out the more.
Do you mind giving specific examples?
Well, yes, of course. That are some of the companies like the Abe, that is the Abe Construction and many other companies. And the business and the one of the company is like that is the computer science, like something like that. I don't know the specific name, but I am in the touch with that companies. And I believe that if I will be getting the opportunity, I can invite them in the university on the job fairs and I can give the opportunity to students to talk with them.
Okay, and how do you believe that, so it was construction company and a computing science company.
Like, yeah, there are the many other companies also.
Like,
but
what other companies do you feel that business students would be looking for? Degree specific, how do you think you
Yeah,
can
there
serve
are
them?
the like retailer companies and many other like the insurance companies that give the opportunity to the students so that they can make their future brightful.
Okay, you have 10 seconds remaining. Is there anything else?
Just the thing is that I need your sports, and I know that I can make some changes. And thank you very much.
Our education, health, and human development representative. I'm sorry. How? Hritik? Hritik? Thank you, Hritik Grover. You do have someone running against you.
Sorry?
No, go ahead. So just 1 minute introduction to yourself and why you feel you're qualified.
So thank you so much, guys. My name is Hritik Grover, and I'm a third year student of Bachelor's of Early Childhood Education. So I'm a returning student actually. I already have a diploma of ECE from Toronto. So, and I'm a returning student. This is my second sem in CAPU, and I'm running for the seat of Education, Health and Human Development Representative. So in the past few weeks, I have been talking with a lot of students, and I was asking like what concerns they have in the in ECE and in other departments. So the one issue that came up when I was talking with all of them is they couldn't find practicums. And in the practicums, for international students, I mean, it's really hard because let's say if they can't find practicums, then they have to apply to extend their study permit. And which like that's expensive, right? And it takes a lot of time. So if I win, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna talk with the higher authorities like the dean of CAPU, and I'm gonna make sure that we're gonna do something about so that every students they can have practicums on time.
And what do you feel is the biggest challenge, like the biggest barrier to getting practicums, and how you'll overcome that in your term?
So the biggest challenge that I think is I mean, because there are not many like childcare or daycare centers available in BC. So, and there is one more issue in finding the practicums, and that is, let's say, right now what they are doing is only university is providing the practicums to the students. I mean, but I think students should have the, opportunity to find the practicums by themselves. Right now, they can't do it.
I see.
And the second thing is, what practicums are full time, right? And they are unpaid. So do you know, like it's, I mean, good for students to work full time and that's also unpaid. I mean, it's not good, right? I mean, it's not fair for them.
Right.
I mean, it's really hard to like manage the living expenses. I mean, if you are working full time and that's unpaid. And the second thing is, let's say even after graduating, it's really hard for students to find. I would say job because I already have a diploma, right? I already after my diploma, I already worked in this field for about 2 years, and even after graduating, it's really hard for some students, especially for international students, to find jobs because like they are new here, right? And they don't really know like how to apply for jobs and all. So what I gonna do if I win? Then I gonna make sure that we're gonna organize some networking events and workshops so that we can educate all the students about how to apply for the jobs and everything. And the next thing that I want to talk about is so most of the students, especially I would say 70 or 80% of the international students, they don't know that government is already providing funding for the ECE department. I mean, but that's sad, right? I mean, most of the students they don't really know about it. So what I gonna do is I gonna like make sure that everyone like we gonna educate and we're gonna talk personally with all of the students and we're gonna like educate them so so they know like how to apply for the scholarships and all.
Thank you. That's your time. Thank you very much. And next, where are we? Navneet, Kaur. Hello and welcome. And just 1 minute to introduce yourself and why you feel you're qualified.
Hi everyone, my name is Navneet Kaur and I'm a third semester early childhood care and education student. I'm running for the position of Education, Health and Human Development Representative. And my main goal is first the education, as I myself believe in education, and I feel that sometimes students tackle with the problems of education as well as the mental health. Although there are many resources in the university itself, but there is not awareness about it. Sometimes I feel that some of my friends, they say that I'm under like financial stress and I'm like couldn't cope up with work as well as studies. So they come. I said, why don't you go to the counseling university provided? But they are not aware about it. So the part of education, health, and human development is that collaborating with the clubs which are already there are health and nutrition clubs, there are mental awareness clubs, so bringing them openly to the students so they can know about the resources and they can get advantage of it. And the second thing is about the practicums, as Hritik already talked about it. So as an international students, even I have not been getting practicums, we are getting delayed. So talking with the faculty about solution, as for the past year this position was vacant, so there's a lot of gap to be filled, there are a lot of issues to be talked about with the faculties. So I believe that if I get elected, I will talk with the faculties about the issue.
And how exactly, if you could, like, what is your proposal to solve the issue with practicums?
Yeah. So there, in early childhood, there is like in the faculty there is the practicum coordinators. So I will talk with them. I will let them know that this is the issues, and they should like open new positions for the practicums. So like students can get, because if they don't complete a certain course, they can't get another course, and then they have to wait for 4 months to get another course. So bringing up those issues collectively may be a like produce a change.
Okay, and you don't, just to clarify, is there no specific proposals? It's just that the acknowledgement that there is an issue. You don't have a specific
Already students
proposal.
have been talking with them. They send emails to the professors.
Right.
So, but if we make a proposal collectively, if I get elected, then surely this issue will be like in a more open space.
And you said making a collective proposal. Is there a proposal that you would be making on a proposed solution, or just the fact that you're reminding them that there is an issue?
It would be on the fact that in actual the students are not getting the practicum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's your time.
Thank you.
Next is Andrea Chiang for Fine Art and Applied Arts Representative. Hello. Welcome.
Sarah, right?
Yes, Sarah.
Nice to have this interview or conversation.
A second time meeting in front of everyone. If you could give us an introduction to yourself and why you feel you are a qualified representative.
All right. Hey, my name's Andrea Chiang. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm a first-year 3D animation student and a candidate for the Fine and Applied Arts Representative position. As a contributor to the Capilano Courier, I spent a lot of time interviewing and researching the needs of the students. And I realized there are many students that are just completely unaware of the politics here and just any of the programs like counseling, right? I want to promote accessibility and awareness so that everyone has the opportunity to find the mental health resources and social events that will better their campus life. If I am elected, I will advocate for more opportunities to network and showcase every major's artistic talent. I want to be the voice of the students and will do everything in my power to advocate for CapU students' needs and well-being. Thank you.
Perfect. And if you could just identify what you think, you mentioned a few challenges, but what do you think is the main challenge that you will be addressing during your period of time?
I think for sure mental health, I'm just really passionate about that. I think just generally improving the mental health of all students will just make it easier for everyone to socialize more, encourage everyone to do better in their studies, and just get through university life a lot better.
And how exactly do you think, like what strategies do you have proposed for better mental health. Like currently, being in the film program, I know we have one person taking on the brunt of like 400 students. Like what would be your proposal to better our mental health resources for fine and applied arts students?
Specifically for fine and applied arts students?
Yeah.
I think just strengthening just our community, because I
Mhm.
learned just talking to different fine and applied arts majors. Someone like, I talked to Shruti, the previous rep,
Mhm.
and fourth years don't even talk to third years or
Yeah.
second years or first years. Even within my own 3D animation major, we
Mhm.
hardly see the second years. So
Mhm.
I'd like to just create more events or at least opportunities for collaboration or just for the different majors of our department to
Mhm.
meet. And I think just, artist to artist, we understand the struggles. And I think just having each other's backs,
Mhm.
it will alleviate like that one person taking on everyone's work, right? That's also why I'm here,
Mhm.
right? Because I want to be a part of that and
Mhm.
help everyone.
That's a great answer. Yeah, I was gonna kind of ask that too. I think that that's a main kind of problem with every arts program is that none of them are talking to each other. So your solution would be events, perhaps? Is there going to be something like being a 3D animation student? How do you plan to bridge the gap to, say, a jazz student? How do you feel that you're going to start being able to talk and create those networks in that position?
Personally, what I'm already doing is
Mhm.
just finding people within my class. Hey, do you know people from these different majors? Or just showing up to more of the general student life events. Even though it might not all be fine arts students, I'm still meeting people like from business, from like
Mhm.
I actually accidentally met a theater kid just from going to one of these events.
Mhm.
So just once I have that one person, I could just ask them, hey, can you show me around your department and maybe introduce like some of your classmates to me? And I just tell them like, hey, like, let me get your Instagram. You have any issues or feelings about your program? Like, I want to advocate for you.
Perfect.
Just everyone helping each other out.
Yeah. Thank you. We're out of time, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Carnvir we were missing some at-large directors, so who is present?
Do we have Karanvir Singh here?
Karanvir.
Karanvir Singh? Okay.
Hello, welcome.
Hey everyone, my name is Karanvir Singh. I'm running for that large director.
Mhm.
So basically, I'll be working hard and I'm ready to take the responsibilities for the students. And I'll be organizing some events with the help of other representatives to help students out, basically organizing some workshops, fun activities. So that's the main goal.
And why do you feel that you are qualified to represent versus your other candidates?
Because I'm here from last 2 years, so I've been talking to students.
Mhm.
Basically, I'm here 4 days a week, so I get in touch with all the students and talking to them, and it feels like they need help in many ways, like talking to other authorities and talking to the professors. So I'll be helping them to
Okay.
reach out.
And I suppose there's to just be clear in your jurisdiction, what events have you been coordinating in the last 2 years in your role?
Actually, there are very less fun activities organized in our university, like games
Mhm.
and all. I'll be helping students to encourage and join the fun activities as well.
Sorry, to clarify my question, what have you been doing in the last 2 years in your role? What activities have you been doing?
Actually, I have been participating in all the activities like the Captivate parties and all the fun activities like the Pangra group from Punjab.
Right. Sorry. So, is your role to be coordinating these activities?
Yeah, helping students to
Correct.
reach out. Yeah.
So, which ones have you been coordinating, not
Not yet.
participating in it?
Not
You
yet.
haven't been coordinating.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Oh, sorry. I thought you mentioned that you had been in this
No,
position the last 2
no,
years.
no.
Sorry, that's my confusion.
Yeah.
So what do you plan to coordinate? What is your main goal?
The main goal is to organize some fun activities,
Right. What exactly?
like some sports events, tournaments, like cricket. Basically, here cricket is not encouraged, and every student like to play cricket. I think so, from India.
Right.
So basically, we can create a tournament for cricket as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I suppose, what do you think is the main shortcoming of the person who was in the role before you, and how do you feel that you will be better?
Basically, the persons before me have done well in their roles, so I can be better in some points, like organizing activities, workshops, helping students in every way possible.
And what exactly, how do you feel that, like, for example, the cricket tournament?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to coordinate those things? Where do you think that you're going to get those resources?
From by the help of other representatives who are on the higher position than me, talking to them, and we can collectively create a tournament for them to play. And that's all.
Okay, that's your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Next is Taranpreet. Hello. And if you could just give a minute introduction of who you are and why you think
Hello
you're
everyone,
qualified.
my name is Taranpreet Singh and I am running for the at-large representative position. I think I'm best for the position because I want to improve the communication between students and student union because there are many concerns to the student weeks, like many first semester students didn't know about how to choose their courses because they get confused in their courses because many of them don't know about where to see the courses, which course they can select. I'm going to help them with this.
Okay. And so, what do you think is the main challenge, the main communication issue between students and the CSU at the moment?
Because there are many different students, like international students, who didn't know about where they can select the courses because sometimes they get confused in the courses and they didn't know where to reach them. And I also want to mention they can reach me with my email.
Right.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you're saying that people are confused with course selection. How is that an issue between the CSU and the students?
Because CSU is the main, they help with them to choose the courses because CSU is education that they provide.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't aware that the Capilano Students Union was helping.
Because they are also important to communicate with them students because they want to present the student problems because students are facing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and so in terms of student events, what's your idea for student events? How are you going to promote communication between the CSU? Because currently, the turnout for CSU events isn't large or is like not necessarily encompassing of every faculty and every student. How are you going to include more students and get more perspectives in your role?
Like we can do the Zoom meetings and the student forums which they can fill about their concern and problems which they can communicate with them.
And well, like I've said, we're having an issue with turnout from students. I think our student voting population was very low in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What exactly how exactly are you going to do it as opposed to what's already been done?
We can communicate with them through their Outlook. We can send them emails about it, and we can make them aware about this.
And just again to clarify, those are strategies that seem to be already in place. How are you going to improve on current strategies?
We can do the Zoom meetings. There are no Zoom meetings about this, which they can help them with this.
Okay. You have 15 seconds. Is there anything else?
Yes. Let's make a change about it. Thank you so much, everyone.
And yes, is Jaskaran? Yeah. Thank you. Hello. 1 minute.
Hi everyone. I am Jaskaran Singh, and I am running to be one of the part of the at-large director of our university. I want to represent our students in the Kaplan University, and care about the making our university better for recent and upcoming students. Uh, if I elected, I will work hard to make sure every student voice is heard, and I will also listen to the concerns of the students, like what they need and what are the problems they are facing in the university, and share to the CSU to solve them and represent every student fairly. I will also work on improving some things like library sources and moreover. Uh, I am here to make positive changes in our university. Like I will put each and every effort to make sure that every student feels they are living in a good surrounding and supported.
Thank you. So, just to drill into specifics, how exactly are you going to be including student voices? Like I mentioned, we're having a lot of issues with turnout, voting populations, events in general. How exactly are you going to be making sure every student voice is heard? What steps will you take?
Like now, everybody knows population is increasing day by day. So we can arrange some meetings with the CSU to the students to make sure every student are in a good course. Like they have a too many. Like now, the population is increasing, right? So
Well, currently we're facing decreasing student population. To be honest, we're having a decline in our enrollment.
about the international student.
Yes, because of the increasing fees.
So can you tell me what you exact want to answer me?
I was asking specifically how, like, what steps that you are going to be taking in your role, because currently we're having emails being sent out, but not a lot of people attending. Events are being made with low attendance in that way, and one specific like faculty. How are you going to make sure all the faculties are being heard, and how are you going to represent the students and actually use the CSU as a body?
So we have to arrange like offline and face-to-face meetings, and also we can also email to the students about the concerns which are facing about the courses. So we can aware the students by mailing them and organizing some events in the university.
Okay, thank you. That's your time.
Thank you.
And Jaskaran is, oh, sorry, you're Jaskaran. Gagandeep. Gagandeep? Singh? Is it Gagandeep? Awesome, thank you. All right, 1 minute, who you are, why you feel you're best to represent.
Hello everyone, I am Gagandeep Singh, running for at large representative. Because when I came here, I did not have the enough courses, so I failed a lot in these years. So I don't want any students feel that things. So I just want to insist them in that any campus engagement for, because new students comes, they usually feel shy and do not engage in the campus, and they already have issues about the courses. As I said a lot, like when I came, don't have enough courses, like so I picked from the TRU. I just want to aware them about that you can use the BC transfer guide and you can pick the courses from there if you feel any trouble here, and participate in the campus so they can feel everything interesting in the university, and make the university better for them.
Okay. And then apart from educating, how will you promote student relationships between the CSU and the students during your term? Like, kind of the same question. What specific steps are you going to take to make sure that students are being, can be heard? Because currently there's been efforts, but they're not being successful. So how are you going to make a more successful effort?
We can organize the things like events like funny activities and games, so they can relate with the other students and just engage with them. And for the academic advice, we already have WhatsApp group for the Kaplana student help. They can reach and talk to us about the courses, so we also guide them.
And what advisors do you have within the CSU to be helping with course selection?
Yeah.
Who are the advisors currently within CSU, or like what resources are there to be pointing them towards? To clarify the question, you mentioned that students can be reaching out to people within the CSU to help with courses. Is that correct?
No.
No, sorry. What were you saying
I
regarding
was
that?
saying like we have a group like they can reach the. We also guide them for that if they want to take courses from any else university or colleges. So we just help them, to make them easy for.
So you have
regarding courses issues, right?
Okay, so you have a group within the CSU that can help.
No, we have WhatsApp group just not
A
on
separate group.
CSU group.
I
separate
see.
group,
Okay,
yeah,
all right. And your plan is to do what with this group? To connect with this group, connect students between this group?
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you going to improve the current connection?
Yeah, we just help them, and so obviously it's gonna be work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's your time.
Okay, thank you so much.
And then Arshpreet, our last. Awesome, thank you. Hello. All right, 1 minute.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ashpreet Singh, and I'm running for your next student at large representative. So, being a dedicated student, I'm concerned about like more supportive, inclusive, and supporting community. So, my main aim is to be your voice, your power. So, I believe that every student concern and their like voice and must be heard. So if I elected, I'll be focusing on advocating more student concern, whether it's affordability, mental health, or the academic support.
All right, thank you. There's a lot there that you are going to be trying to advocate for. How exactly are you going to be doing that advocation? Through what channels? And why are you qualified to be doing that?
So okay, so my main focus gonna be like on the open service and the feedbacks, because it's been 2 years I'm studying here, and I have also gone through some problems. So one of them is like the transportation system, and no one is here comfortable talking about the mental health. Even me, sometimes I just rather than keep quiet than sharing it with my friends. So I'll conduct like some surveys and feedbacks to resolve the problems of the students.
Now, there's been a lot of issues with students even filling out surveys and for turnout.
Come again?
So for turnout and students even filling out the surveys. Again, we've been putting out the surveys, we've been doing the events, but no one's been showing up, no one's been engaging. So how are you going to tackle that issue?
So I'll just explain to them like, because it's again about the communication. So some of students like in the communications, they just rather ignore than participating. So I'll be awareing them about that. So it's I'll inform.
Sorry, them. So like, are you going to be talking to students personally and telling them
No,
to open their email, or how are you going to reach out?
No. As one of my colleague mentioned, like we're gonna organize some events. So at there we're gonna do some fun activities, and also gonna aware them about the things.
Right.
Yeah.
To answer the surveys and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay. And how do you think you are going to be getting events? What do you think is the problem with current events? Because again, not a lot of students are showing up to the events. So what do you think is the problem with the current events being held, and how can you be better to even get students there to talk to them?
So every student have their different priority. So let's say there are some short-term priorities and long-term. So short-term, like there are some mental issues. So in the events, that's going to be my main priority to be solved. And then in the long-term, as most of the guys like mentioned, the tuition fees. So in the events, we're gonna aware about them. So these gonna be main things we're gonna talk about. And then again, I'll try my best to resolve the problems and help my other students.
Okay, and again, not a lot of students are engaging with the CSU politics in general. They're not aware, not a lot of people are running. Is there something that you would do to improve this, to reach out to other faculties? Yeah.
There's that thing can come again, like the communication. It's all about the communication. So
Right, and I want specifics of how you will communicate with the other faculties.
So I'll approach them, like we'll like form a group to help the other communities and the groups.
Okay, thank you. That's your time.
Okay, thank you.
That is everyone. That's all our candidates. Thank you for coming out and sitting through this for the entire time. I had fun. Do you have any other things?
I do have some remarks. Thank you so much, Sarah, for hosting that, for moderating that. Thank you so much, Lucas, for being there the entire time. This is the last call for Mannat Mahajan for Women's Student Liaison. Mannat Mahajan. Mannat Mahajan. Awesome. We'll stick here till 1 p.m. and if they show up, lovely. Otherwise, we'll have our elections administrator reach out to them. Thank you, all of you, for staying the entire bit for non-executive candidate forum. We have our executives candidate forum on Thursday, the same time. And also on Friday, 11:30 a.m., we have another candidate forum for people running for the CBPS positions. Okay? And now, yes, go ahead, Sarah.
I just have one more thing. Again, thanking everyone who showed up and thanking everyone who ran. And even if you're not elected or even if you're not running, it's all clear that you're passionate about engaging in students and community. So please make that continued effort. Help out with, read the Capilano Courier, show up to your student events. Just I got to get that plug in. But honestly, like what we've been talking about a lot today is the siloing between students and the CSU and other faculty. So please, just an encouragement to do what you can to start bridging gaps. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for bringing that up. On that note, this forum is for now over. We'll wait till 1 p.m. for Mannat Mahajan if they show up. If you are their friends, please reach out to them. And please do vote and also ask your friends to vote. And voting is a very important decision, and you get to decide who to vote for. And we hope as CSU that this candidate forum gave you an eye opener as to where your vote should go. And then I know that 2 candidates reached out to me. So Arshpreet and Carson reached out to me about their emails, that their emails were incorrect on the file with us. If anyone else has to reach out, please let me know. That's it. Thank you so much. That's it.